Good day, everyone. So today's story is First Kill by Victoria Schwab, and I dedicate it to my friend Devjit Lahiri, whose birthday it was last week. So this is his birthday present. Now, Victoria Schwab has given us an unusual take on vampires in this story. It's a young adult story, and it's from the book Vampires Never Get Old, which is an anthology of vampire fiction. And I heartily recommend that you check it out. So I'll plunge directly into the story, and then we'll have a little discussion about Victoria Schwab to sort of wrap it up. The story is about a high school, and the main characters are a vampire called Juliet and a girl called Calliope. Now, Juliet is not very popular. She's sort of uh, a bit of a loner. She's just stays in class, and but Juliet has a secret. Juliet is a vampire, and everyone in the class finds Calliope really popular, including Juliet, and she wishes she could get the guts up to go up and talk to Calliope sometimes. Anyway, on one such occasion, she goes to the toilet, and on the way to the toilet, she finds a silver bangle lying on the floor. So Juliet picks it up, and immediately it burns her because this is a part of vampire lore. Uh, Vampires cannot bring their skin into contact with silver, it's extremely corrosive. So, in order to regain some of the health that she has lost back, she runs into the bathroom, takes out a bottle of aspirin. But what's inside is not aspirin, what's inside is a capsule of blood. So she takes it, ingests it, and the burn gets soothed. The next morning at the table, Juliet is eating breakfast, and her mother is telling her that it's about time she made her first kill. Now, her sister Eleanor, who has got far better style than Juliet could ever have, according to Juliet, has already made this first kill, and so has the parents. Their father killed his best friend, and their mother killed someone who was trying to force himself upon her and was not taking no for an answer. So, Juliet is basically the black sheep of the family, and she's also called Jules in the family. And then what happens is, at school during lunch, she again sees Calliope, and she again wishes she could have the guts to talk to Calliope. Now, Calliope is called Cal by her friends, and Calliope has a dark skin, uh, curly hair, which is sort of unmistakable, and a distinguishable gait. And then a friend of theirs, a classmate, who is actually Jules's best friend, comes up to them and says, "Let's go for a party this afternoon. This weekend there's a party happening. Why don't you come along?" And so Jules agrees. Very well then. Now Jules goes to her sister Eleanor for help and says, "Can you do something with my face? I think my outfit is okay." She's wearing black. Eleanor sits her down in front of a mirror, and in this universe, vampires are being able to see their reflection in mirrors. So Eleanor gets to work on her sister. She gives her a new hairstyle, puts on some kohl under her eyes, a little bit of mascara. She paints her lips with something called passion red, and then she is ready for the party. And Jules is determined to make her first kill at this party. They go into the party, and there's a game of truth and dare being played. And the dare is that Calliope and Jules go into the closet together and stay in there for 60 seconds. And this is where Victoria writes that 60 seconds is a very short time, but 60 seconds is also forever. And Calliope and Jules kiss each other. And as they are kissing, Jules's fangs come out, and she breaks the kiss and tries to bite onto Cal's neck. At that exact same moment, Cal drives a wooden stake against Jules's ribs. And now the perspective changes. So far, we have been talking about Jules and the fact that Jules needed to make a first kill. And now we've shifted to Calliope's house. Calliope has two brothers, Apollo and Theseus, and their father is a vampire hunter. Not just a vampire hunter, he's a hunter. He hunts everything, ghouls, wendigos, and the three kids have grown up helping him hunt. Now, Theo or Theseus was just 12 when he made his kill. Apollo was about 15, and Cal has been living in the shadow of her two brothers for a very long time. So that night after dinner, it was a Friday night, after dinner, the two brothers say that we are going to hunt. And Cal says, I'm coming with you. And so they get into a car and they drive down to the cemetery. And the cemetery means that it's ghouls. So Calliope gets out of the truck and she's given a tire iron. And she says, what am I supposed to do with this? She says, the other two say that you're not doing anything, you're a lookout. So you will be just keeping watch for us. Very good. And they enter the cemetery. Apollo is wielding an axe, and Theseus has a samurai sword. So the two of them move on a little ahead. Calliope is scouting for them. She gets onto an angel in the cemetery, and using the height advantage, she tells them there are two ghouls directly in front of them. And so Apollo and Theseus both start fighting. It is then that she notices the third ghoul, which is sneaking up on Theseus, who is too busy fighting his own ghoul to notice. And Calliope had kept a knife with her, a small dagger. So she does the only thing she can think of doing. She jumps off the angel, lands on the ground badly, then charges at this ghoul with the tire iron in her hand and gives it a thick whack across the head. And the ghoul is distracted and goes after Cal. And Cal retreats and then unsheaths her knife and buries it in the ghoul's neck. But because it's a small knife, and because the ghoul is basically ragged skin and a lot of bone, the knife doesn't cut all the way through, it gets stuck somewhere over here. And this enrages the ghoul, and the ghoul comes running after Calliope, who conveniently trips and falls into an open grave. Just as the ghoul is about to maul her, Apollo arrives on the scene and decapitates it. And then the three of them check if all the ghouls are dead, then get back in their truck and are driving back. And Calliope is furious. Calliope is silent and she's just furious that this was her first chance to get something and she completely failed. And the thing is, their father had this rule that every hunt, every successful kill would earn you a tattoo on your arm. He didn't approve of keeping trophies, but he did allow them to get tattoos on their arms. And Theseus and Apollo have got a lot of art on their arms. But Cal's arms are bare, and Cal had thought that tonight she would be able to get one tattoo below the elbow, and she would be able to show it to her father, and he would be proud. And now the perspective shifts back to the closet, and Cal is thinking while being kissed that Jules is warm, she's could it be that she's a monster? And she immediately removes that thought from her head. She immediately starts looking at it from the hunter's perspective. It was she who had planted that silver bangle and forced Jules to pick it up, and that was the proof she needed to find out that Jules was a vampire. And she has been trained to think of vampires and other monsters as targets, not as human beings. And that is what she's doing here. Meanwhile, in the mind of Jules, who is also enjoying the kiss and wishes she doesn't have to do this, uh, these mortals are just food. And so we had come to the Mexican standoff where Jules was biting Calliope and Calliope was taking Jules. And at that exact moment, someone outside screams, "Time's up!" And as the closet doors are opening, they both separate and step out of the closet. Now, once out of the closet, Calliope quickly disappears. And the thought in Calliope's head is, you can never let them get away. Never let a target escape. While the thought in Jules' head is, well, you cannot let them get away. She cannot escape. And so Jules runs after Calliope, despite the friends who were playing the dare saying that it's Jules' turn. She takes the stairs and she starts to climb down. And she sees Cal already at the door. And Cal turns back and looks at Jules in the eye and grins. And Jules turns back and looks Cal in the eyes and bares her teeth. And the last line of the story is, let the hunt begin. That was First Kill by Victoria Schwab. Now, Victoria Schwab is the author of a large number of fantasy books, and it was my friend Mary who got me into reading her, and I was really, really impressed. She's available on Instagram. She's working on a adaptation of First Kill, and you should really give her a look. She's a very, very interesting authoress. That is all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I will be seeing you next week with a different story. Until then, stay safe, stay vigilant. Remember, these are troubled times, but they will become better times. We can only hope for that, can we not? This is the Bilge Master, signing off.